What up, y'all? Back again. I'm just showing you some more detailed pictures here. But when you look at this, do you not see there's no people in a lot of these photos, or just very, very few, very sparse? Like, do you ask the question, like, what's going on here? And were those skies put off in these pictures, is that the real sky? I know they say that they whited it out or it looks like it's yellow skies, but what if that's what it looked like for a time during the reset? What if that was the sky? Probably not, because the buildings seem to show the same color. But it could have been different. It could have been different. I do believe it's very possible it was different for a time during that reset. But nevertheless, you don't see any sun or nothing, man. There are some clouds here, but anyway, what I'm getting at though is when these original photos came out, there was very, very few people. It was like sparse. It was like very far and few between, but you got these castles, mansions, amazing structures, and you got a few people and a couple of horses, a couple of cow or ox or mules. There's not a whole lot of anything, not a whole lot of animals, birds, anything in general. It's like life in general is almost obsolete. And things just look mudded out, y'all. They look like a reset had occurred recently. So for all the naysayers in regards to there was not a reset, I mean, I totally disagree. Just by looking at these photos, they just look like they were coming back to something that had already been, and it needed to be cleaned up because it had a time of glory, and it wasn't then. It was before then. But something came around and it was a worldwide thing. Not just, it's like the mud flood, yes, but also, volcanoes and earthquakes occurred. The mud flood caused all of those types of things. They also caused flooding in some areas, because if you had liquefaction occur and say water, lakes and things were dammed up by mounds of dirt, it would have liquefied. So you would get water that would have just busted out of the sides of, say, a hill holding in a pond or something. And some people believe the Grand Canyon got that way because of water erosion, but it wasn't what history will tell us, but that the original maps didn't really show a whole lot of that Grand Canyon side. And some people believe that was on purpose, because what was there was a huge lake that, when the liquefaction occurred, may have liquefied the dams that were mostly made of dirt. That could have been several states large, this lake, and it could have gave way and would have went right into the ocean and would have eroded all of that. That's a theory somebody put out that was very interesting, and because it would have raised all of a lake that large would have raised the sea level. So that was an interesting thought. But also, what's interesting is, we had that Dust Bowl at some point in the early 1900s, and they blamed it on the farmers that were, I believe, plowing the fields, and there wasn't enough rain and stuff like that, so it caused the Dust Bowl. But others put forth that after the mud flood, it dried out, or after this lake that was there eroded out, it dried up, and there was no grass grown. It was desert-like because there was no soil and stuff, so it caused dust that came up next. So there's a lot of things that could have led to more destruction during the mud flood. Liquefaction caused earthquakes, volcanoes to occur and erupt, and it caused lakes and rivers, or lakes and dams and things to give way, mountains to run down liquid mud. That's what connected California from an island to the mainland. Some people believe that that's why there was a gold rush there, because they didn't dig for gold, but after the mud flood, it was sitting on top of the ground. Thank you for watching.